so I kind of stay on track on these calls, is like, what is truly possible that you've never considered before, beyond what is obvious with your business? Totally different questions. So if we look at for the next 5 days, what is truly possible that you've never considered that goes beyond what is obvious? Okay. So when we create from energy, we create with question. We create with question. It's really a different thing. And are you ready to take wherever you're at with your business, whether your business is just a thought in your head right now, and if it's a thought, it's a definite possibility, it's already created, or your business is in motion and you like keep hitting something, or you're stuck, or you're not sure what the next steps are, we're going to be into question, or if your business is fully flourishing and you're like in this place of what else is possible. So are you ready to take this beyond what is obvious that you think and can see and can feel that's possible? That's kind of like this linear place. And with energy, and where I go is what else is available beyond what you can even think, thought, know, and so forth. But what is that energy below that? I did write a question somewhere on one of my millions of pages you could find me, but in the Phenomenal Woman community, the question was, and I think we might even create from this for the next 5 days, these calls will be like 30 minutes, is most of us, when we have a business, whether it's a thought in our head, in the medium, moving or growing, is this place where we're not clear. And when we're not clear, it's hard to go into action. And then when we're not clear, we end up showing up in 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months to a place that you're like, that's not even where I really wanted to be. But now I'm there. But you're there because you didn't have clarity to set that energy. So here's a question for you to look at. And I really invite you over the next 5 days, kind of write for yourself in the space of like, if you could have anything, anything at all, what would that be? So guys, I want you to write that down. Ladies, I'm going to say guys, write that down, because that question is a very expansive question. And right away, you're going to hit a ton of limitations with it. You're going to immediately hit this energetic block of like all the reasons oh, why you can't have everything. And all it's like this, just all of a sudden this stuff starts happening. And what would you like to create? That's your second question. If you could have anything at all, what would that be? And what would you like to create? Okay. Second question. And who would you become while all of that's happening? Again, we don't have answers to any of this. All we have is a question and a space for a possibility. And that's how we start to master the business and the elements, the function of energy in our business, and what would show up. So 2 questions. If you could have anything, write it down. Spend the next few days like percolating over that, and we'll talk more about that. And what would you like to create? Okay. So did anything pop up for anybody like right away when you first asked yourself that question? If you could have anything, did you start having thoughts already about why you couldn't have everything? Or if you had everything, this is the things, or judgment that you can't have everything that you want, or what would it take to have everything you want, or what's wrong with me because I don't even know what it is that I actually want. Like, did anybody have all of that start to pop up in your head? Okay. Cool. I'm just still adding people in. For right now, I probably won't open it up to a lot of questions because I'm just going to get the format laid down, and then we'll go at the end a little bit and answer it. But right there, when you first, I know for me, I've practiced these tools and I've been in this space of creating constantly. But as soon as I go, if I could have anything at all, I draw a blank because I can't always think. You can't think that. All I can be is be this energy of like, I have no idea what that is. I have no idea if I could have anything. But everywhere that you're not, everywhere that the energy comes up that you're not even able to or willing to look beyond that, would you destroy and uncreate that? Just let that's clearing statement from Access Consciousness. If you're not familiar with it, you can go to accessconsciousness.com and look that up. But everywhere that you're not even able to go past that, would you destroy and uncreate all of that energy, all those limitations, all those blocks, right, wrong, good, bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys, POBADs, and beyonds. Kim, the question was, anybody who's joining, if you could have anything at all, what would that be? Start writing about that. And you did. And what would you like to create? So there's a lot of energy up on the call right now. So I want to say hello to that. And the energy that I'm perceiving right now is I don't have the answers for you ladies. What I have is a place for you to question yourself of what's going to take that business to create. Are you willing to do the action that you're aware of that's required? And everything that is, let me just destroying all the, okay, projections and expectations. Everything that is, okay. Projections and expectations, we can talk about that with our business and with me. So I wrote down a thing. If you were to get anything, if you were to get anything from this 5-day calls, what would that be? You may not know that answer, but I want you to have that space instead of a projection and an expectation of what you think I'm going to deliver. Because as soon as we set ourselves up for a projection or an expectation of ourselves or our business, the only thing that can happen from that is we reject ourselves, we judge ourselves, and then we separate from ourselves. So I'm just even opening this up from everywhere that you're doing that in your business, projections and expectations. That's an energy where you're creating. It's just like this big, huge wall. So even in these 5 free calls right now, what is it that you would like to get from this without a projection? Okay. And if you could ask anything of your business right now, what would that be? And we're going to go over these questions over the next 5 days. And where does your business function from? Okay. Is your business, like my business used to like be me, like I was my business, like I was everything. I didn't know that the easier place, because I'm always looking for more ease in my life today compared to what it was, is where is your business? Where do you talk to your business? Where does your business communicate with you? Where do you have time that you sit with your business and have a meeting every day? Growth Junkie coaching for me is outside of me. It's no longer me. I didn't know that. So it's out here, and every day I ask business, what do you require? What would you, like it has its communication energetically with me, and then I go to work and do the action that's required. So
my business is busy because I realize that I am that, like I am my business, and I am, even though I know better, busy making myself wrong about things like that's not good enough, or that's not, or see, you knew it wouldn't work, or like it.
Okay. So take yourself out of your business. You aren't your business. We are this energy. And then our business is outside of us that we're able to create from that space. Okay.
Awesome.
Cool. Another question. What is it that you'd like to get started that you haven't started? Write that down. What is it that you'd like to get started that you haven't started? And remember, I'm talking to people in their businesses all over the place. So wherever you're at, even if you have a business, but there's something new that you'd like to add to it, which you know will create something more, but you haven't gotten it started, what is that? And for me, I'm a spaz because I have a list of so many things I always want to get started. I'm a growth junkie. I am always going to be creating. And if you're on this call with me, you're probably a creator. So I also had this awareness sometimes, you know, a confused mind does nothing. I was like there this weekend. It's like, there are so many things I want to do because it makes me, I just love it. But I also can overwhelm myself with my business of like so many things. So write down, what is it that you'd like to get started that you haven't? That it may be in the next 12 weeks, 3 months is something that you can create with ease and actually actualize it. Okay. I'm all over the place right now with little things, but there's different energies in regards to actually having something happen in your business. There's the energy of generation. There's the energy of tapping into that. There's the energy of manifesting it. The energy of manifesting means we don't know how it shows up, but it's going to show up. And then there's the energy of when it actually actualizes. So create, generate, manifest, and actualize. Those are all the elements of energy that are happening in your business. And are you tapping into any of those? Are you tapping into one of those? What would it be like to tap into more of them? And all of them, to tap into it is just asking questions and actually asking particular questions. Or what is it you're saying that you want to start that you haven't started? So what is it that you keep saying that you want to start, but you haven't started?
A membership.
Okay, cool. Write that down. Lisa's typing to me. Hold on, let me see. Generate. Yeah, generate actually generates an energy. So it doesn't matter, but that would kind of like be the energy. Like right now, we're talking about generating something. And then we're going to get from there with question, what is it that I can start creating? What's the action? Okay. And a lot of this you guys may do already, but are you actually conscious of what it is that you're doing? And when we become conscious of it, the energy, it starts to take on its own energetic life form and then manifest. That's how things start to show up. Not that we say this is how it's going to show up, but it's an energy of like, oh my God, it's starting to show up. And then actualization is when all of a sudden, here I am. So here we are. I actualized, I did all the steps that were required to get this 5-day thing up and running. I was the energy of generation of it. There was an energy of all the shit that has to get done to create it, all that back in. And then manifesting, I don't know how it's going to show up. I don't know who's going to show up. I don't know who's going to receive what they're going to receive, but I'm open to that. And the last one is actualization. Hello, we're already here. We're here. Okay. So, or what, let's see, or what have you started that you have not been following through on? I'm throwing out a lot of questions, and it'll be maybe a lot of places where we can kind of like start to pick at everybody individually. So what is it that you'd like to get started that you haven't started? Or what is it that you're saying you want to start that you haven't? Or what have you started that you haven't been following through on? And how can you be the energy of no judgment on that? As soon as we go into, God, there's so many places I can always go with these conversations. But so when I ask you those and you write them down, does the next thing that comes up is the energy of expansion and possibility? Or do you go into, I haven't done it yet. And then you go into judgment. And as soon as you go into judgment of it, guess what? Judgment is the thing that shuts down any space of creation. Okay. Can you guys getting all that? Makes sense? So anywhere that you wrote stuff down and you immediately went into judgment of what was wrong with you because you've been doing that, would you please destroy and uncreate all of that? And just again, if you don't know what that means, just be the space of like, I'm going to destroy and uncreate all of that limitation, right, wrong, good, bad, and POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys, POVADs, and beyond. And what's possible beyond the judgment? Well, what's possible beyond the judgment is the creation, and the manifestation, and the actualization. Okay. Trying to stick to my notes and then flow around with it. What action is required? Let's see. Okay, taking action. An idea is just an idea until you take action. Okay, so if you've thought in your head, right, you have a new business, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be listening to this that are starting a new business. It is a thought in your head, or your business But the thing is, taking action is what actually gets us into the generation, the creation, manifesting. I didn't even think I was going to talk about those 4 things, but it seems to be popping about what is required. Moving. How can we move it today? So that's a question. Like if you're writing these things down, you're like, okay, what is it? What can I do today? What can I choose to be in action today? And we've been doing that in the Phenomenal Woman community. Like, what is it that I can choose today to create my future right away? So sometimes when you're into these questions and you know how to use the Access tools, we often go, well, what's a bigger clearing than that? And it's like a simple question for your business, whatever it is, what can I choose today that will create my future right away? Okay. And I know we're doing that in the Phenomenal Woman. So we've been in that every day. So what action is required to get this moving? So what do I need to choose today to get that started? Okay. Gosh, and then I have a list of all the things that I will be going into more into the mastermind class or the other classes that I'm offering of how to break those things down. What does this require me to do today? So I'm looking at right now just the energy of supporting you guys on this live call today. What is it that you're looking at creating? And what is that going to require you to do and to be today? Get the energy of what you're looking to start and ask, where do I have to go to institute this right away? That's a big question. I'm not going to go there with that one. I wrote that down though.
And
yes, Kim. Kim's familiar with my work. Go ahead. Say it again. Kim, go.
Lenny's awesome. It's me being willing to do it wrong. You know, like I don't know how to do a paid group. But I know how to do a group, and then I can always Google how to do a paid group, and or I can do that on a coaching call with you on how to actually generate that and not be concerned if I get it wrong. Because if I get it wrong, I'll just choose again. So there's no question in that. But
cool. So Kim's talking about my coach. Her favorite saying is do it wrong, do it badly, do it anyway. And building Growth Junkie coaching over the last 3 years, I have built very different than I've built any of my other businesses. My other businesses were in a lot of struggle. That's not true. It started out that way. How to do it right, not do it wrong, fear of being judged, so many different things. But when I got that permission to be the energy of do it wrong, do it badly, do it anyway, things just exploded for Growth Junkie coaching with more ease. So anywhere in your business where you are functioning from, I can't do that until I do it right, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate that? Because we live in this reality of not choosing anything until we've decided if we're choosing the right thing. And energy awareness is about choosing constantly and not worried about if you're doing it right or wrong. Just doing something to create something, okay, or being something to create something. So that's why, like, even asking these questions have such a specific awareness, a bit, energy on them. So we ask questions and then we get an awareness, like, if I choose this, what would it create? And if I choose this, and I choose it from a space of like, do it wrong, do it badly, do it anyway, I don't have to do it right. There's no such thing as it wrong. We get to create with so much more ease. Okay. So will you destroy and uncreate? I wrote this down as a clearing. Would you all be willing to destroy and uncreate everywhere that you've been willing to give up on yourself? That was a weird question. Would you be willing to destroy and uncreate all the spaces that you've been willing to give up on yourself? That's an interesting question and an interesting clearing. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, POVADs, and beyond. So what happens is when maybe I say that, you bring up into the past, all the past, into the present, go, oh my God, all the places I've given up on myself. Again, without understanding that, without needing to know that, but would you be willing to destroy and uncreate the limitations of the energy of where you choose that? To be willing to be able to give up on yourself before you choose something else. Right, wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, POVADs, and beyonds. And everywhere that you've tried to start a business or this business and then given up on it, would you destroy and uncreate? Everywhere that you've given up on yourself and your business.
Get out of my head. No.
Get out of your head. It's a dangerous place. Get out of your head. Get out of your head. Get out of your head. Oh my God, that just got like so exciting. Because in your head is all these thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And none of those thoughts, feelings, and emotions belong to you until you start to choose from your own space. So get out of your head. Everything that's talking to you doesn't belong to you. So everywhere that you have given up on your business, oh, wow. I'm just watching that in the space of all of you, everywhere that you've given up. And then you try to start and recreate from that place again. Gosh, would you guys please destroy and uncreate that energy? Kim just got that. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, POVADs, and beyond. This is the energetics of our business. So if you've given up on all these places, and then you're like, okay, now I'm going to choose today. You actually have to go back to the energy of the places where you gave up to kind of start to recreate from where you are today. Well, right now that we're even acknowledging that, let it go. Destroy and uncreate all those places you've given up. Kim, you could run that. And all of us.
I'm freaking running that for the whole day.
It's an awareness. So we're just having an awareness with energy right now. It's like, oh my God, I gave up then. I gave up then. I gave up then. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, stop, destroy and uncreate all the limitations and uncreate all the places where you're creating from there. And you choose from the present moment. And then that goes back to the question of what energy can I create from today that will create my future right away? That's a question from present time. And everything that doesn't allow that, destroy and uncreate it. Okay.
One of the big, I just got off another call, and it was about smartness, being right, being smart. And there was so many judgments around that, and realizing that awareness actually goes beyond being smart. That was like really big.
Well, our points of view create our reality. That's where I come from my coaching. And the more and more and more and more that I look at that and I coach people with that, and Lupita's like, woo, yes, is that, what was the word that you said, Kim? Smart. Our points of view create our reality. So we all immediately go to this point of view of what smart is and what smart isn't.
And then when I project that I am smart, I actually separate from my awareness.
Absolutely.
And so what else is possible beyond that?
Exactly. So for new people who are listening to this and going, I think I got that, but I didn't get that. I don't know what the heck she's talking about. If our points of view create our reality, and we're functioning from thoughts and feelings and emotions, and those thoughts and feelings and emotions don't even belong to us, and you have a point of view of what smart is based on your points of view, but that smart isn't even what your awareness is. You know? And you go, well, wait a minute, what is smart for me? And then, oh gosh, there's so many places to go with that. And then you go, well, what is smart for me? What is that? I'm going to destroy and uncreate all my points of view right now about what smart is and what smart isn't. And everywhere that you have a point of view that you have to be smart to have a business, would you destroy and uncreate that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, pock, all 9 shorts, boys, POVADs, and beyond. And then, you know, if you're doing coaching and clearing and more, you might even bring up all this old crap of like where you were told that you can't have a business, you can't be self-employed because you're not smart enough. Those are old points of view that don't belong to you. So we need to get rid of those and destroy and uncreate and go from the present moment in this question of like, what is it today that I can choose to create my future right away? and be that energy. And I know it's weird if you're new, you're like, I want to be the energy, but that's a place of possibility and question versus this limited, heavy point of view. Okay, Kim, thank you for your contribution on that.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
I'm so smart.
You're not large. Oh, isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? Yeah. So let me go back here. Lupita says, I am always thinking I'm not smart. I'm so stupid. Whose point of view is that? And then what is smart for me? Can pod that. Yeah. What is that? What that word, your wording in your business is so important and expansive. We'll talk a little bit about that in the next calls. I kind of want to leave them to 30 minutes. I actually have a guide, like 5 words to truly eliminate from your vocabulary because they are destroying your business. They're destroying everything. So even that, like smart, like it's so good. Pod that. You're welcome. So with that, it's always hard to deliver in these 30-minute increments, but we did have a lot of questions that I proposed. What is it that what is truly possible that you have never considered that goes beyond the obvious? And that would be like, goes beyond your thoughts and feelings and emotions. And you don't have an answer, but we just opened up a space of like, what is available that I can't even think about? I can't think about it. I can't know about it, but what can we be the energy of that? Okay. And then what were my other questions? I'm just going to go over them again. Does anybody want to read them to me? Does anybody want to participate and say, this is what I wrote down so we can hear it from you?
I can read you what I wrote, but please, no, I couldn't write down everything fast enough.
That's all right. That's why I recorded them.
Okay,
but if you would be a contribution to give back what you heard, then people can also hear the energy of it differently.
If you could have anything at all, what would it be?
Right.
What would you like to create?
Right.
Who would you become in that process?
Cool.
What is it? Well, what did I put here? What is it what is it you would like to get started that you haven't?
Great.
Okay. What have you started you haven't? Well, actually, I wrote it down wrong. So,
okay. So what is it that you're saying you want to start that you haven't?
Okay.
That was one of the questions. Or what is it
following through on?
Yep, that was one. Mm-hmm. I can see that I've already overwhelmed you guys with a lot of questions.
What can you take in action today? And then I could not keep up. I'm sorry, I could not keep going. I literally was like a little, not overwhelmed, but yes, overwhelmed because I don't know the terms. I don't know some of the terms you're saying.
Totally.
So I'm digesting what you're saying, but my mind's not getting it.
That's all right. And we'll end on that. It's a great thing for me to hear back from you because, of course, most of us are over deliverers. And remember, we can only conceive so much, right? Perceive so much. So, and I do speak a different language because I'm speaking the energy I'm speaking the language of energy, and I have words to put on that. So it is a different language. So what would it be like just to be like, I might learn a new language of energy. And so a lot of where I coach from comes from the tools of access consciousness. Okay. When we're doing a clearing and so forth. And a lot of the girls here are familiar with access consciousness, this big, whatever it is, of pragmatic tools to create from. And I only bring people into my world who are wanting and willing to create from an energetic standpoint and linear. We go beyond it. Linear would be do A and B to get to C. That's a real linear, okay? And we need to do that when we're creating a business, absolutely. But if you're one of those people that I kind of wrote to, it's like if you're a seeker or you're a creator, you're an empath, you like feel everything, visionary, a dreamer, you're creating from down in here, open here. You don't always just create from this 1 spot, 2 spot, 3 spot. I invite you to create from everywhere and be the energy of that. And for a lot of us, it's all new. You're like, I've been craving that, but I didn't know what it was. Okay. So hang in there, Lisa. Okay. Hang in there. All righty. Any feedback before I hang up? Anything I need to fill in any spots with? You got me. Okay. Nobody? Cool. All right. So I just ask you how willing are you to look at some of those questions and then show up with me tomorrow and see what else you can create from that place. And then can you show up tomorrow without judging what you did or didn't do? That's what's fun too. And because when we're in judgment, we cut off all possible creating. And that's where most of us function in our business, is how much we judge ourselves. And if we have this point of view, if we judge ourselves enough, that we might actually create something. I used to do that too. And then that just created like so much. And we can create from judgment, but man, is it painful. So what else is possible beyond the judgment? And that is being the energy in question. All righty, so there we go. That was a call that was all over the place, but I think it opened up a lot for everybody. Okay, see you tomorrow.